Hello there, friends and neighbors. Thanks for coming back to my channel. This is me, Stella Hendricks, back once again for the Showgirl Next Door. I think we're actually going to be doing chapter 1 this time because last time we just did the introduction and everything. I will be reading some right out of this book, but just excerpts. No plagiarism. Road trippin'! Look at her cute Hunter S. Thompson getup. She's so cute. She's the best. So I'm probably gonna reminisce a whole bunch through this because I lived in Las Vegas for a while and I'm obsessed with it. So just be warned. A large percentage of Las Vegas's visitors come from the Los Angeles area via automobile. In fact, if it weren't for Los Angeles patronage, Las Vegas as we know it today would probably not even exist. Back in the 1930s, several glamorous gaming establishments dotted Los Angeles' Sunset Strip, where Hollywood stars and glitterati could drink, dance, and gamble. With the election of LA Mayor Fletcher Brown in 1938, everything changed. The gaming establishments on the Strip were shut down, leaving gaming operators to migrate to Las Vegas, where they could operate legally. The trend at the time was to build resorts on what was then Highway 90, the road coming into Vegas from LA. When Hollywood reporter, publisher, and nightclub owner Billy Wilkerson came to Las Vegas in 1945 to start building what would become the Flamingo, he nicknamed the stretch of highway the Strip after the LA landmark. Cool. It's like story time. I do story time for kids. Oh yeah, I think I was supposed to actually read more of that. Yeah. Oh, gamblers started coming in droves from Los Angeles, having done the drive from LA to Vegas many times, and knowing how hot, long, and desolate it can seem now, I always think of the travelers in the 40s and 50s and wonder how the hell they did it. I can't imagine driving a mid-20th century vehicle. I own a 1960 Corvette, so I know how finicky they can be. In the heat, back in the days of no air conditioning and few roadside concessions, I just can't fathom how the travelers kept cool, hydrated, and sane during the journey. Today, the drive can actually be fun and an adventure in and of itself because of so many quirky things have popped up along Interstate 15 over the years. I decided to investigate by doing a road trip, not to get from LA to Vegas or vice versa, but for the sole purpose of investigating fun diversions along the way. First, I would recommend driving on weekdays if you can. A Friday afternoon drive to Vegas can be brutal because that's when most Californians make the trip and traffic can get pretty rough, turning the normally 4-hour drive into one as long as 7 hours. The same goes for driving back on Sunday, of course. So I always drove between Reno and Vegas because most of my family was up in Reno, and that is the world's longest, world's ugliest drive. Let me tell you, it is desolation incarnate. It's empty and dreadful and like a 2-lane highway for a bunch of the way. So if you get stuck behind a truck, then you have to and it's windy, so you might get stuck behind it for a long time. Oh, dreadful. It would be much more fun from Los Angeles, no doubt. About halfway to Las Vegas from Los Angeles, near the town of Yermo, you may notice the word Calico atop a mountain in white. This moniker hovers above a reconstructed ghost town about 5 minutes off the interstate. It's a fun mini theme park diversion in the middle of a long drive through the desert. The charming recreation of the mining town that stood on the spot in the 19th century was created by Walter Knott of Knott's Berry Farm fame in the 1950s. That's so cute. It talks about how it has a train ride and a mystery house, panning for gold, and all kinds of fun, cute stuff like that. It reminds me so much of a town near Reno, where I grew up, called Virginia City. That was kind of like a Deadwood or a Tombstone or, one of these great places. And you go up there and they have, the panning for gold. Nowadays they have this shootout show. Oh, I love stuff like that. How fun. Look how cute she is in this picture. I think she looks like candid picture. Oh wait, I'm supposed to read something on there. You need move up only 60 years or so to dine in Yermo. Peggy Sue's 1950s Diner is a large multi-room restaurant and gift shop built around the original 1954 roadside diners truck stop. So it just sounds like such a fun drive, and I love road trips, especially if you're not in a hurry and you're there with your girlfriends and stuff. You just take forever and see all the stuff. I had to show you the dinosaur garden. Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. Look at her dress on this side. Let me see if she's cute. All kinds of fun attractions along the way. Burger stops, and oh yeah, this sounded so cool. This part I'm going to read. About an hour and a half from Baker on Death Valley Road lies the ghostly outpost of the Death Valley Junction. Formerly known as Amargosa, which means bitter waters, the junction is notable for a haunted hotel owned by an eccentric performer. The long single-story Spanish-style building that dominates Death Valley Junction winds along a block and surrounds a grassy courtyard. The building was constructed in 1924 to serve as a miniature city for workers of the Pacific Coast Borax Company. Inside what is now the Amargosa Hotel was a doctor's office, a hospital, boarding house, a store, recreation hall, a dining area, and making the place even creepier, a morgue. Today, the building functions as a hotel and opera house. Oh, I should show you the picture. Opera house. What the no-frills accommodations of the Amargosa may lack in amenities, they make up for in spooks. Several rooms reportedly are haunted, including room 20 with its mysterious shaking bed and room 17 with the voice of a womanizing former resident. Guests in room 15 have been said to hear a disembodied baby's voice. An abandoned wing now used for storage is a creepy place I was lucky enough to be able to explore. It's a hall full of former boarding rooms now in various states of disrepair. At the end of the building is a small auditorium called the Amargosa Opera House, where for years proprietress Marka Beckett performed, whether an audience had assembled or not. After Mrs. Beckett acquired the Amargosa in 1967, she busily devoted herself to restoring the old opera house, bringing seats in from an old Boulder City theater, and spending more than 4 years painting an audience on the walls, including depictions of her two cats, Tuxedo and Rhubarb. In 2009, when she decided she would no longer dance on point at the age of 85, she launched a collaboration with her friend. So cute. And also, that sounds exactly like the town I was telling you about, Virginia City. They have this place called Piper's Opera House, which is equally haunted and fantastic. This kind of stuff is just right up my alley. I would totally have loved that. But if you choose to bypass the ghosts and take the direct route along Interstate 15 to Las Vegas, about an hour later, you will know you are approaching the border of Nevada when you reach the not-so-proper Primm, home of Buffalo Bills and Whiskey Pete's casinos. It may not sound like much when I point out the gas station in Primm across from McDonald's, large public restrooms, and generously sized convenience store, but after you've been on the road for hours, trust me, you will find this a place most wonderful too. Check it out. Also, last time I was down there in Primm on my way to Vegas, there were a bunch of wild donkeys walking around through the road. They were not at all afraid of the people. They came right up. Some people were pulling out carrots. Some people were running into the store to see if they could buy carrots. It was very funny. There's lots of wild donkeys around there, burros they might be called. And I've seen wild horses down there too, the Mustangs. But I had never seen them so up close, and they just came walking like right through the gas station, like they lived there. It was hysterical. So definitely stop at Primm at the gas station. And it's a fun gas station. I know it sounds weird, but it is, and it has this big candy store. It's lots of fun. It's very cool. Okay. Did I show you the picture? I did show you the picture. Okay. So now she also has like a fear and loathing guide of Las Vegas. it's a really popular book, but it was written in the early 70s, and a lot of the actual places that are talked about in the book are gone, but these are some places, she says, that are still there. Bat Country. The drive to Las Vegas from Los Angeles is just as dry and hot and nearly as desolate as it was in Thompson's day. It doesn't take much imagination to think you see bats somewhere around Barstow and on the edge of the desert. Okay, also, I'm pretty sure that those huge bats he was seeing, it's the crows. If you've driven that road, you will see big black crows. It's both between Nevada, Reno, and Los Angeles down to Vegas. It's just like outside in that desert around Vegas. Tons of crows. So I think that's what Hunter S. Thompson saw, and he was on drugs, and so he was like, bats. I love that movie, by the way. And the Flamingo Hotel. Thompson's second writing assignment was to cover the district attorney's convention. For this assignment, he was put up at the Flamingo, which still stands on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard South and Flamingo Road, though due to remodeling projects, I doubt Mini Suite 1150 is still there. I love the Flamingo. I insisted on staying there on one of our trips down to Las Vegas. It's probably for my birthday or something. It was great. And I really loved it. I loved the history of it. It was clean. It looked like it had been recently kind of remodeled, but it is an older building, and you just have to remember that things like, the plumbing and the size of the rooms and stuff, it was a little vintage. And so I probably won't go back there again, but I would want to stay there at least that once. I'm glad I did, because I wanted to stay at the Flamingo. And then they have the Burlesque downstairs, or at least they did when I was there, and that is also fantastic. And that is the end of chapter 1. So tomorrow I will post chapter, probably chapter 2 tomorrow. I'll post this one today and that one tomorrow. Great, I will see you then. Thanks so much for coming. See you on the flip side.